Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Sitting alone in my kitchen, working on some details, planning my week, getting my mind right after a fun but chaotic weekend. I want to jump on. I'm going to steal a quote from my coach, Kelly Murray. I just was on her live a second ago, and she said something that was like, wow, hit me right where it counts. She said, if you don't know who you are, no will anyone. No one else will. I just totally butchered that. If you don't know who you are, no one else will either. Right? And I'm paraphrasing. She might have said it a little bit different, but that is all what my workshop is about on Sunday, is knowing who you are. Good morning, Danielle. Knowing what's important to you, why it's important to you. How many of you are tired of setting goals, breaking them, starting over? I feel like I've done that over and over for most of my adult life. How many of you are bored with your life or feel like you're living in mediocrity, almost embarrassed to admit that because your life is fine, right? Well, no more. I mean, we deserve more than mediocrity. And the whole saying life is short is so cliche, but it's so true. And I bet most of you have experienced that. I know Danielle's on here. I know she has, with the loss of her brother. I have with the loss of my mom and my sister. And it's not just loss of people in our lives, loved ones. It's loss of or grieving that we're not living the life we want. It's grieving that we haven't met a goal that we wanted. It's grieving that we don't even know what life we have. Or do you know what I mean? Like, we're just like going through the motions of life. And when something like that, when you lose someone, good morning, Kristen, or when you lose something that's important to you, I think for a time it shakes you and you go, I don't want to regret my life. I don't want to die and not have done what I really want to do. I want to know what I want to do. I want to know what legacy I want to leave for my kids. I want to live a life and teach my kids through my actions and behaviors. I want to make a difference in my life. I can't imagine anyone who doesn't, to some degree or another. But I don't know about you, but I'm tired of starting over. I'm tired of saying some of the same things today I said 15 and 20 years ago, you guys. I'm embarrassed to say there are things in my life that I'm still saying I want and want to achieve, or I want to stop doing because they're negative and they're in my way of living the life I want, of living the dream that I want, of following the purpose and passion that I want. I've been saying this for 20 years. I'm tired of it. We deserve to live a fulfilled life. So if you don't know what that is, that's okay. If you're tired of saying the same things, if you're tired of not meeting the goals or even having goals, do you have goals? Do you live your day and your weeks and your months and your life with intention? Did you come to the end of last year and say, you know what, I did that, or I made progress towards that? I finally am able to say that, and I'm almost 50, you guys. I want to use my experiences and my wisdom to help you guys not be 50 and saying what I'm saying. Okay. So Danielle and I we were meeting last week, and we were talking through all the things that are important to me and what I really want this Hash Out with Heather to be, and getting more specific. You have to be clear with what you want, with your desires. You have to be clear. If someone says, who do you want to be? You have to be able to say it just like that. I want to be this. And we were talking about Hash Out with Heather, and I had so many things to say. And she said something, I'm giving you full credit, because you were taking what I was saying and you made it hit home. She said, become best friends with your inner badass. And I talk about self-love and self-worthiness because for so much of my life, I did not love myself. And there are days I still look in the mirror and go, gross. Did you hear me? Do you do that? I look in the mirror some days and I look at my physical body. I know that sounds ridiculous to some of you. And I'm like, gross. And it's because of what I'm feeding my soul and the decisions that I'm making that aren't congruent with my values. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to, I'm not saying we're going to live a perfect life, but I want to live my life the way I intend 90% of the time, 95% of the time. I am tired of having regret. I could get emotional right now because I'm tired of having regret, you guys. So I want you to, if you're not coming to my workshop already, if you're in town, come, because this is going to be a great day, a hard day, I'm going to ask you to be honest with yourself, really, really, really brutally honest with yourself, because we can't, if we don't know who we want to be, if we don't let go of the things that we've done in the past that we regret, or if we're too embarrassed to admit what we haven't done, if it's too hard for us to say, I'm in a situation that I don't want to be in, I'm in a relationship that I don't want to be in, I'm in a job that I don't want to be in. If we can't be honest with ourselves and really lay out who we want to be, and then break it down to one thing at a time, and pick that one thing and get it and master it and move on. But it all starts with our minds and our thoughts and how we talk to ourselves. So I want you to come to my workshop Sunday. If you can't afford it, PM me. We will figure it out. I am so passionate about this, you guys. Personal development, personal growth, surrounding yourself with people that want to be better and want to live their best life is so contagious. So contagious. It makes every day I work on this. Every day I talk to one of you guys. I'm with Danielle. I'm with Dee Dee. I'm with people that want to live better. We're not there. It's a journey. But I listen to podcasts. I listened to Kelly on her live this morning. I get fired up, and life takes over, and we lose that in a second. I can turn this off right now and get unmotivated because something throws me off. You've got to surround yourself with situations and people. You have to put your why in front of your face, but you have to know your why. You have to know your why very clearly for each thing in your life you want to accomplish. And if you don't know who that is, we're going to define that together. We're going to explore that together. But first, we have to figure out why we can't commit to things, and why we go on this roller coaster of meeting our goals. We've got to find a way to love ourselves, to be best friends with our inner badass. Are you with me, people? Okay. So thank you, Danielle, for clarifying that for me and helping me say what I feel in my heart. You can tell I'm all fired up this morning, and I'm emotional in a very good way, because I want to live my best life. I want to stay on this journey, and I want you to do it with me. So Sunday, I posted a link on this live right now, 3 to 6. It's going to be in a Parks Realty in Green Hills. Invite people, you guys. The more we have, the more support, the more people around us that fire us up. Or maybe it's your job to fire somebody else up. If you feel like, you know what, I'm on this path, I'm doing good, then bring someone that needs us, that needs you, that needs a support group, that needs a community. We need community. We need connection to live our best lives, because every day something's going to throw us off course. So if you're tired of living a life of mediocrity, if you're tired of being bored in your life, if you're tired of not knowing what it is you really want, if you can't say my core values are blah, 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 if you can't name them off, then you need to come to this workshop. We're going to do this together. And I'm going to make sure all of us, including me, are very clear. And listen, this can change. You might reevaluate in 6 months, 3 months, and as you explore your passions and your desire and what lights you up, your values may change. Some things won't, like your faith, wanting to be a great mom, wanting to be a great wife, wanting to be a great sister and friend, some things like that. But saying you want to be great, that is very vague. We need to define that. Or how do you know how to be? How do you know if you are great? And maybe you think you're great, but does your spouse? Perceptions of other people too are super important. So you have to be on the same page, but it starts with you, how you love yourself, how you talk to yourself. Are you best friends with yourself? The things that you say to yourself, would you say it to your best friend? Let's talk about this together, all right? So sign up for my workshop, bring your coworkers, bring your friends. I want us all to leave that day on fire with detailed, actionable steps. And then we'll come back to it in my next workshop, and we'll dig deeper. And then we'll dig deeper in my third one. I love you guys. Have a great Monday. And I look forward to spending 3 hours with you on Sunday. And I'll see you Wednesday night. I'll be on tomorrow to talk to you about what topic that's going to be. But it'll be more of this and more detail leading up to my workshop on Sunday. Okay? Have a great week. Have a great Monday. Love you all.